Hello, everybody. I'd like to say hello to both Twitch and YouTube at the same exact time. On this end, I have my YouTube family. Over here, I have my Twitch family. Uh, I would like to say hello to all of you. I know it's late in some parts of the world, and I know it's early in some parts of the world. So, thank you all for being here. Welcome in, and thanks for being here. Never was yours. Holy Spirit in me, hello. Shillen McLeod, hello, hello. Arena, hello to you. William Walker, how's it going? Thank you for being here. I hope everybody's doing good tonight or today, wherever you're at. I'm actually gonna get rid of me right here because there's no reason for me to be visual. But I hope everybody's having a good weekend. Hello, pumpkin hats. How are you? So if you do not see some of the people I'm saying hello to, just keep in mind that I am streaming on both YouTube and Twitch at the same exact time. So today I will be doing some card readings. And tomorrow I will be posting a new song that I finished. So I just figured I would hang out tonight for a little bit and do some readings for everyone as a collective. Collective only reads, so no personal readings or anything tonight. Yeah, YouTube's been kind of weird with some of my notifications recently, which is odd, but you know, YouTube has been pretty weird with the notifications for everything. So but hello to everyone. And yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. Do trust that everybody's having a good weekend night, right? Wherever you are. Yeah, it's so the new moon is Monday, that's right. Today is Mahashivaratri for some of those who are aware of what that is. Um Good rule of thumb is to keep your spine straight uh until at least midnight, right? Because certain alignments and everything will help you spiritually with your chakras and everything as well. I watched the Mahashivaratri celebration with Sadhguru all day today, and it was an amazing experience as always. Super inspired and all those good things. So we're gonna do a pull, see what the cards, how the cards' personality is gonna be, and see if we can get a general oversight of how the readings are gonna go with these messages here. Okay, stop, recharge, self-care. Okay. Awareness, practice, and connection. So apparently, this is going to be about, self-care and reestablishing connection and how to, becoming more aware of certain things, which I think we all could benefit from. I'm trying to see if there's a way where I can integrate my chat to the stream here. So that way everybody can see what's being said. Let's see if this works. I don't know if it will, but it's worth a shot, right? There we go. I see something. All right. So let's get dived into these collective reads, and I'll go from there. Let's see, I wonder if I can make these bigger. Sorry, I'm messing with some settings right now. Let's get that going. Yeah, there. Hopefully this works. All right. All right. Well, shit. I know some readers probably would have just kept that, Oh, that's not good. I'm terribly sorry about your friend's loss, I hope that, maybe something in these messages here can help you out. Alright, let's see what the cards have to say for the collective here. So let's go. You go big or you go home, right? Interesting. So we have the green man, nature, connection, and source, right? It's really odd. So let's see. Let's go into. So in case, for those of you who don't follow me on Twitch, I get this one all the time. I think I even get them on the YouTube streams quite often, actually. The mischief fairy, right? Freedom and recklessness. I feel like there's something. If I was just to look at these two reads right here, right? I would say that I would feel like there's something in your life that's preventing you from being able to connect to a higher dimension of yourself or this higher aspect of who you are. We have the oak in reverse, talking about doorways, strength, and journey, right? Which to me, I feel like maybe there's like something emotional that you're carrying that's preventing you from connecting to this higher version of who you are. And it's causing you to just to act out bitterly, right? We have this the Sid, or Sid he, said Said, or however you want to pronounce it. Ancient knowledge, help, and dimensional. So, I feel like this card is telling you that you have some kind of spirit guides, some kind of ancestors or beings who are trying to give you guidance, to try to assist you, to push you in a certain way, right? And maybe there's something that you're doing to prevent that, right? Like maybe you're refusing to accept their help. Maybe you're refusing to be open-minded, perhaps. This is your advice: surrender, let go, fall into freedom. Daphne Mare, hello and welcome. Just hanging out doing some collective reads, for the collective. This is a Twitch and YouTube multi-stream. So say hello to Twitch, and Twitch say hello to YouTube. So I feel like your spirit guides and your ancestors are just telling you to stop and just allow yourself to just accept their help, right? Like stop fighting against it. Stop pushing them away. I mean, they're telling you, you just gotta let yourself, you just gotta let yourself connect to this, right? Allow yourself to just feel. Step out, hidden, courage, camouflage. Yeah, I feel like you've been hiding behind something, just like this being is hiding behind this tree, right? Otherworld shape-shifting fertility. I don't feel like this is talking about fertility, but I do feel like this is, once again, something from the other side trying to snap you out of it to get your attention, right? What's really odd is if you look at the symbology of this, you have the rabbit, right? The rabbit's underground, the other rabbit's up top. It looks like it's daytime, but yet the moon is out. And there's like a lunar phase. Oh yeah, I totally agree with that. It's a lot of energy for sure. Because it's getting warmer. Easier to connect with nature than it is to four walls. I went outside today. Today was the first time where it was not too cold, but the sun caused it to be a lot warmer than usual, you know, and I was able to actually enjoy it and sit down to sorry, that message just kind of messed me up with Streamlabs. I was actually able to sit down and meditate outside for a while and just allow myself to focus on the present, you know. Nick, transformation, healing, sexuality, and rebirth. So I feel like you're in a place of healing right now with something, right? Definitely with the snake energy. It's telling you that you need to shed your skin. You know, it's not serving you anymore. Shed that skin. Allow yourself to step out a bit and to gain that strength to begin to walk that path to allow you to be able to connect to these higher forms of yourself, these higher beings, these spirit guides, because they're like basically clamoring and screaming out for your attention, but you just gotta let go, right? And go with the flow of things and stop fighting against the waves, you know. You're gonna be tired and it's gonna wear you out, you know. Hello, how are you? Koku Bunny or Kokui Bunny, or I'm probably saying it wrong. I suck with usernames. Yeah, I'm just gonna be honest. Hope you're doing well tonight or today, wherever you are. Koki. Okay. Okay, Koki. Yeah, sometimes I forget that sometimes the Q can make like a K type of sound. Let's bust out the moons. Let's see what the moons say. Let the moons be your guide. Do you know the way? Apparently, I know how to fling oracle cards across the room without trying to. They are safe now. I am doing quite well, actually. I have consumed more chocolate than I should today. Been up quite early, celebrated Mahashivaratri, which, if you have never seen it, I would always recommend for people to check it out because it's a very emotionally moving and eventful thing. Highly energetic. Definitely feel some cool, amazing spiritual energies. So I'm doing collective reads, just to hang out with everybody, to, just to chit chat, see how both collectives are doing. So just basically take what resonates and leave what doesn't for these collective type reads. Time for healing, which kind of makes sense, right? Didn't I predict this with the stream prediction read and everything else? And then this time in that last reading, talking about shedding your skin and getting rid of something that doesn't serve you to be able to connect with your higher self. Time for healing stands out for this. What do you need to release? Kind of funny that it said that, right? What did I say? What did I say? Balancing the spirituality and practicality. Your higher guidance and your higher self is trying to communicate and connect to you, but you need to be realistic, right? You can't just rely on spirituality alone to heal you. You have to do the work, right? Maybe see a therapist, maybe, take the first initial steps yourself, right? Prosperity lies ahead, but I don't view it as in the form of financial. I view prosperity as being, you can be wealthy as far as like the way Othila represents wealthy, like wealth is in family, love, friendship. You can be prosperous in those ways. I don't really view it as being prosperous with finances in this reading. because that hard work is paying off. I feel like that's saying that the effort that you're going to put in is going to be highly, um, what I'm looking for. It's going to be worth it. Because it says right here, your commitment is being tested. It's time to release negativity. Got a new start coming, which is going to be true for sure. Like, because in the readings, those guides are trying to communicate. They're trying to connect to you. Maybe you feel like you're not good enough to heal, to get healing, or maybe you're too broken to be fixed, kind of thing. And I feel like that's not exactly true, right? It's like the old kid story. It's like the old kid story where it's like they take your, like the lion with the thorn in its paw story. Like that's what I kind of feel with this is like, you can't be so ferocious that you can't allow yourself to be healed or whatever. You are healable. You are fixable. You're not your traumas. You're not your past. You're not all these different things, right? And those things are the only thing that's limiting you from connecting to just higher aspects of yourself. Highly recognized. What's highly recognized? Maybe I missed out on. Maybe I wasn't paying attention to what I said or something. I'm not sure. It makes total sense. That kind of echoes what that camouflage card, that standout card from the Celtic Spirit deck was saying. It's like, stop hiding behind your traumas. Stop hiding behind all those things. Show the world who you really are. It's time to take action. Stop making excuses. You know what you need to do, you gotta go do it. Nothing is gonna be handed to you. Right? Let's get a confirmation on that. We're gonna pull one card and get a confirmation. That is the right message from this deck, right? Yep. Be bold and make the first move. This was the first Oracle deck that I ever owned. And it's by far my favorite one. I mean, well, I'm not gonna say by far my favorite anymore. Obviously my real favorite is this one. I do have some others that I'm going to be getting soon, hopefully, and then I also have the one that I created that I will get printed out soon. So of course, Daphne, what's your question? Initially I was never ever going to do anything remotely close to this whole thing right here. And I noticed that when I started doing live streams on YouTube, I started using this meditation deck that I've got called Celestial Buddha, right? And and then basically somehow later on down the road, I ended up just incorporating all of this stuff, and now I do oracle readings pretty much strictly on Twitch now. But you know, no, I've never used the Rose Oracle at all. Now I own so many Oracle decks, it's ridiculous. And I want to own some more eventually. But I haven't found an Oracle deck really, and honest, like truthfully, that's like like I know the Celtic Spirit was one called to me, but in order for me to have to use this one, I really had to buy this to go with it, or else like my mind and my soul was like, I don't want it if I can't have an animal guides kind of thing. I am looking at another animal guides deck, but I'm also looking at some others as well. So once I get mine made, it'll be interesting to use that one live. But I mean, I really wish that they made some based on like Sumerian deities. I know they got one based on Hindu. I know that there's Egyptian. I haven't found a Norse one that I'm actually okay with. And then, yeah. I just kind of feel like I have a bunch of visuals for stuff that I would like to be on cards and what kind of themes, but I'm never able to find the cards that actually resonate with me, I guess. And it's like, but it was the same way with me in tarot, to be honest. Like, I never vibed with tarot at all. And then I was shopping one day at my metaphysical shop here, and this deck called to me, and I really enjoy it. I really enjoy using this deck. I've been reading runes for like 16 years, so that was my divination go-to, for years. there's like too many gatekeepers of stuff, you know, so now doing readings on top of trying to make meditation music and everything else, like now I'm, you know, my schedule's booked, that and always like working a normal 9 to 5 kind of thing. um of the Page of Swords. See, there's a face of somebody hidden in the painting. We have the Five of Swords. And the Hanged Man. Dun dun dun. Okay. It's not, you know, that bad, right? Maybe. Page of Swords means curious and excited. Five of Swords is defeat and argument. And the Hanged Man is knowing, sacrifice, change, perspective, and patience. So, curious and exciting. It's like the tarot cards are telling you that change is obviously at hand. You should be excited, but you're too stuck in your own head. You know, it's like you're argumentative about it. That's what the Five of Swords is. It's like the argument card, right? You're argumentative. This is all collective, Daphne. So pretty much whoever resonates with them. If some of us are in the process of finding oneself, how does one demonstrate their real self? That's a good question. So demonstrating your real self is all a matter about not being manipulative. Don't wear a mask. Don't hide behind certain things, right? Like, you know, it's like if you don't like being around, like for an example, if you don't like broccoli, right? And somebody in your family feeds you broccoli or makes broccoli and says, "Here, eat this broccoli." You either have a choice of saying, "Okay," and just doing it anyway, right? Or you have a choice of saying, "Okay, well, I don't like broccoli." It's a matter of standing your ground and setting boundaries, right? Uh, so this is like a very difficult thing to talk about sometimes, but it's like showing the world the real you is just who you are, right? Like, just be, if you're genuinely happy, if you enjoy to make people laugh, be that, right? You know, if you like being quiet and you like being self-reserved, be that, right? Don't try to wear multiple different masks. Try to just always make sure that you are just being honest with yourself about who you are. And just be honest with others about it too, right? It's just family is a very difficult thing sometimes to be yourself around, you know? And and I can speak freely about that because it's like I was guilty of not being myself around a lot of people constantly too, you know? So it's like I always had to adapt and adjust and put a mask on for, certain people to just to allow me to be in their presence and be and have it be tolerable, right? Because I mean, some people just go together like oil and water, and sometimes you just got to grit your teeth and bear it, unfortunately. But if you know who you are, make sure you set healthy and strict boundaries. That's sometimes the best thing to do. Just don't get too caught up, right? Don't begin to think that the mask that you have to wear sometimes is your face or your identity, right? Yeah, just like Daphne says, just be you, you know. People pleasing actually comes from your relationship with your parents, according to some things in therapy, right? Thank you, Arena, for the sponsorship and the membership. Welcome to Tier 1, and thank you for joining the well. People pleasing comes from a lot of different things, and I was guilty of that, right? But being a people pleaser will also cause you to like key things to notice is like, do you over explain things or do you get anxiety when you think that you've done something wrong, right? And there's just a couple of things that you got to do to kind of get out of that mindset a bit. But I did that too, Hopefully you can find your way out of it, right? Sometimes you just got to be comfortable enough and say no, and set those, boundaries up, you know. You have that person, for an example, What do you mean you don't like broccoli? And you're gonna eat this broccoli, and you're gonna tell them, no, the hell I'm not. You know, I'm not gonna eat this. Why would I do that? If I don't like it, I don't like it. You know. This final advice, and then I'll do a new moon reading for the week. Just ignore this Streamlabs thing because it is not even relative to YouTube. Tranquility. Thank you for subscribing, Calories. Alright, so tranquility is the harmonious in action, right? You look at the female, you know, she's just hanging out, tranquil, meditative almost, right? Even though she's sitting next to something that could kill her in a heartbeat or devour her, burn her alive, whatever, she's tranquil in that moment. Peaceful. No fears, no worries. We have challenge. Standing up for your rights. Always make this reference, and for those on Twitch, probably already know this, what I'm about to say already. You look at the dragon. The dragon is grounded, right? And then you look at this man, this creature, whatever he is, significantly smaller than the thing he's going up to try to fight, to slay, right? You know, granted, something may seem bigger than us, right? But it doesn't mean that it's going to overcome us. It doesn't mean that it's going to destroy us or take us down or win against us, you know? You will overcome it. You know, you just got to stand up for your rights. We have the grief card, accepting loss. Let's hit some clarifying on that. Let's pull another card to see if we can kind of understand. Okay, so independence, carving your own path. So maybe you've felt like somebody has taken away your independence. A situation has taken away your independence. And you no longer know what path to walk, right? You no longer know which path to go down. You need to be resourceful. The legacy card, but the legacy also means persistent. So you need to be resourceful and persistent, which also are the keys to success. And you need to burn with passion. Protect, find what's important. So you got to ask yourself, once you become resourceful, once you become persistent, right? Those are the keys to success. And then when you become passionate and you combine all three of those things, then you're really successful. And then you take that and you narrow that down to what is important to you. And you just run like hell, right? You go towards that. Understanding, you got to look at both sides, but what is both sides? Inspiration. What inspires you and what doesn't inspire you, right? Enlightenment, moving forward. You got to move forward. And you need to have time on your side. Take your time. And give yourself a second chance. It's really odd how this is kind of turning into something about, so you went through the connecting to your higher self, and then like in the other reads, and now we're into a reading about becoming inspired, becoming driven, becoming basically successful, right? And it's kind of interesting how this is working, because it's like it's all coming together as this thing, this story, right? That in the beginning it didn't make sense, but now it's starting to make sense with the recharging, right? The stop, recharging, rest card that predicted the stream early on, which is telling you you need to stop and just breathe and relax and just gather your thoughts, right? In your thought process and that gathering of those feelings and everything, then you can focus on these things right here. It's interesting that you've had that in your mind this entire time, though. It's like I said, it's very interesting with collective reads, because they always either tap into somebody's thoughts, or what some people are going through in that moment that others aren't going through. It's just kind of all over the place. It's hit and miss. I remember I've been in the Twitch streams and YouTube streams where they're doing readings, and as soon as I get there, they'll slap me in the face with something I needed to know. So we're going to do an interesting read here. We're going to do a new moon in week reading, right? So this is going to tell you what to look for with the energy that's going to be coming with the lunar cycles on Monday, and what to expect for that week, and what kind of energy to carry on for that week, right? So first, we're going to go with the Keepers of the Light first. So what I'm going to do is we're going to pull some cards. This will tell you what to focus on, and this is going to kind of clarify it for you, right? I'm glad this is resonating for you. Interesting. So we have the open communication Mercury card in reverse. So apparently that is something that you might be struggling with at the moment, right? Get the weight off your chest. Or see if we can get it to zoom in on the words a bit, so that way they're kind of clear for you. Come on. Get a weight off your chest. Speak up with love and be heard. Then we have Kuan Yin. Care and compassion. Choose to be love and do what is right for everyone involved. Offer a helping hand. Mary Magdalene, the teacher, awakens. You have something important to share. Follow the inner call. Do not let anything stop you. Which is interesting because this, and this all sounds like you're going to be a teacher of some kind. Like you're going to be teaching someone some kind of important philosophy or some kind of important spiritual, spiritual guidance, right? Like it sounds like you're going to be teaching somebody a big spiritual lesson. Maybe you're going to be leading by example. Maybe somebody's going to come to you and ask you for advice. And you're going to need to be open, right? You're going to have to communicate things properly, which would explain with the open communication. But you would have to care and have compassion, and especially enough to, give advice. And then the teacher awakens just kind of confirms this for you. We have Melchizedek in reverse. So this is telling you let's see if we can get this to somehow zoom in the right way and capture what this all says. Oh, come on, man. Don't let the glare screw it up. You learned from experience. More inner study is now required to further progress. So now is the time for you to learn more, so that way you can progress more spiritually. We have Radha, the soul flame, which is the wife of Krishna, right? Rediscover a lost part of yourself and experience relationship harmony and healing. So relationship doesn't mean necessarily like, boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever you want to view it as. This is, maybe a spiritual relationship between you and your guides, right? And the whole discovering a lost part of yourself. I feel like if you step out of your comfort zone and step into this time that's going to require you to maybe give advice or help somebody, right? You're going to be able to step into a certain level of energy that could potentially be spiritually beneficial for you as well. Sometimes it's like the old saying, sometimes we give ourselves advice when we give others advice, right? Master Buddha, increased awareness, deep connection, trust your inner voice. So I feel like something's going to be telling you this and confirming this to you. Master Buddha was also a teacher, right? A sage guru. He was all things. And he was, above all, was compassionate, loving. I feel like you're going to have a teacher moment, kind of. Something there you're definitely going to have to share some enlightenment. Something that you've learned to somebody else. Let's get a clarifier here and then, see, because I feel like with this new moon, I think it's a new moon, right? New moon energy on Monday. So this week you're going to have that moment that's going to be like an aha moment for you. And it's going to be, the reason it's going to be an aha moment for you is because now you've had this reading, right? And this reading, you were meant to be here at this moment to receive these readings. Otherwise, you could have been anywhere else doing anything else. You know, like you could have been watching Netflix, you could have been watching a music video on YouTube, but instead you're here, you know. And that's just because you're meant to be here. You're meant to hear this in this moment because there's going to be something that you need to be ready for, you know. Your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. Once again, that balance, that spirituality and practicality. Your dreams, ironically, so I'm seeing like this weird connection now. The last reading with the Star Dragons talked about you becoming inspired again, right? So it talks about you becoming inspired. It talks about you becoming successfully, like, so you gathering the keys to success to become inspired during this moment of your spiritual charge, your spiritual healing moment. This, after all of this is coming up now. And maybe this is telling you that, okay, now that you've got that inspiration, now that you've got that guidance, now that you've got that power, you need to figure out how to use it, right? And this is where it's telling you, all right, listen, be practical, because there's practical is brought up twice in each one of these cards, right? So you got to be practical. But what is it going to do? What are you going to do here? Ah, fiery climax approaches, which could be really good for you, or it could be really bad. So don't be too Don't be too proud, right? Don't let pride get in your way, because your hard work is paying off. So I feel like this is telling you, like, you're at this. You're once you put in the effort, once you know these things, once you start being more compassionate and and guiding people as you're being guided. Give advice when advice is needed. Because when you give advice, the thing that's going to make you go, aha, I should listen to myself, is because you're going to be giving advice from an aspect of your higher self probably this upcoming week, which is going to be interesting. But you don't need to allow that to, go to your head and be like, oh, I'm a Buddha now, or oh, I'm a sage, or I'm a guru because I gave advice and this person took it and it worked, right? Like, but I feel like once you realize that connecting to your higher self is as easy as a thought, as easy as a thought process, or something you tell someone, or just a word of advice, you're going to realize that it's going to be so much easier for you to overcome these things that you're struggling with. Because you're going to realize, oh, it's really not that hard to connect to my higher self after all, right? So do not allow pride to get in your way, because the hard work you're going to be doing is paying off. Adjustments are going to be required. Well, we'll see why though. So don't allow your past to hold you back. That's why there's going to be adjustments to be required. So you may have to adjust your way of thinking. Maybe if you're around somebody who causes like maybe some level of PTSD with you, or like within you, right? Like if you see a girl who cheated on you, if you see a guy who cheated on you, and maybe it's a matter about how you interact with them, or if it's a coworker or somebody who's got under your skin before, maybe you need to approach how you handle them differently, and don't allow the past to sour you, or don't allow the past to burden you down, so to speak, right? Like, so you're gonna have to adjust your way of thinking. A cool way of doing this is in therapy, they'll teach you, if you see somebody who's, upset you or angered you or done all these, or do something, if you need to try to see if you can think of a good quality of that person despite how you feel, and focus on that good quality in the moment that you have to be around that individual or in that circumstance, right? And it will ease the stress, it'll ease the anxiety, ease the tension, right? And allow you to be able to get it. But the answers you need are coming. Like, here's a confirmation of that, right? It's the time to give rather than take. But you're going to get this you're going to be giving a lot of advice, but at the same time you're still going to be kind of taking it, which is something that this isn't talking about, because a win-win outcome is in the forecast. You're going to benefit from the advice that you're going to give, so you're both technically going to win in that, but you're very close to achieving this goal for yourself. I'd say all that hard work that you've tried to put into yourself, or going to put into yourself, and now is the time for you to, put it to use, right? Or like to breathe maybe just a little bit and just know that things are going to work out. You're not doomed to be stuck in this rut that you're in for eternity. It's just for a brief moment, right? I hope these readings are resonating with some of you. We'll have this in reverse. Personal issue reaches resolution. So I feel like this is definitely speaking to this state of mind that you're in, this thing that you're dealing with, right? I feel like you just need to let yourself know that everything is going to be okay. It's the old Bob Marley song, Three Little Birds. Once again, communication is key. I'm glad to know that this is resonating with you. Or, I like to know when my readings are hitting pretty heavy for some people, because I don't do them that often. There you go. It's time to breathe out. End of a cycle, a tough cycle approaches. Yeah, it's always a tough cycle. That's the thing with life is we seldom get a cheat sheet or a pass or an easy one. I would love nothing more than to get an easy one. Um, let's go with the Dark Mirror. So the Dark Mirror is the deck that speaks to a shadow aspect of yourself, right? The darker side of who you are. So we will see if there will be any potential hindrance or something you need to look within yourself and not allow you to be blocked in any way from receiving what you're trying to achieve for yourself. Ironically, I have a lot of black and gray. I didn't realize it until just now that a lot of my, cards and stuff are black and gray or just black. This is really interesting. So the one that's reverse, right? Alone in the world. So now is the time for you to realize that you're not by yourself in this problem that you feel like you're dealing with. Maybe when you realize that other people are going through certain situations, certain things, the same as you are, right? It'll give you some relief, some sense of feeling like you can breathe a little bit, knowing that you're not by yourself. Downcast pride is another thing that the other cards were warning about is don't allow yourself to be proud of the fact that you are dealing with a lot, right? Don't allow, and it's very complicated to explain this, but some people are happy and proud to be damaged. Some people are happy and proud to say, well, people shit on me all the time. Some people are proud of that, type of mentality. This is warning you. Don't be crazy with that, right? Like, you need to understand that. This perchance the dream card is telling you that you're afraid to dream. You're afraid to plan or to plot or to try to do something outside of the norm. And the other cards talked about you dreaming, doing something that you dreamed of. Your dreams need a practical plan. This is telling you that basically don't get caught up in your anxiety, your thoughts, your misery, like those small voices in your head that says, oh, you're alone in your problems. Oh, you enjoy your misery. And then, oh, why are you going to dream of this? Or why are you going to plan this? Because it'll never work out. I mean, even me, I get those voices in my head, you know? And you can't give strength to that. You can't give that voice energy and power, right? Because as soon as you do, your mind will turn itself against itself, and then next thing you know, you're stuck in the same cycle. It's like throwing yourself inside of, I don't know, it's like throwing yourself inside of a fast spinning, hoop. You're just going to jump in, and then you're going to get caught against the gravity, and you're going to be spinning in circles over and over and over again, and then you just won't seem to get off until you're thrown off, and then it's going to hurt so bad that you can't realize the fact that you finally escaped it. It's like that playground thing when you were a kid. I don't remember what it was called, but it's like the big circle, and then everybody got on it, and then you had the one kid on the outside spinning it like crazy, right? And everybody was sucked to the bottom of the floor of this thing and couldn't get off until the thing stopped or until they got flung off. I don't remember the name of that piece of equipment, but it's kind of similar in that scenario. You got the bird in the cage syndrome. You feel trapped, right? And you're hiding your true self. I feel like you're hiding your true self within your traumas, right? Yes, so look here, you're addicted to the pain. You're addicted to these thorns in your back, these thorns, swords, knives. It's kind of like a merry-go-round, yeah, I guess. Or is that if that? Yeah. You're addicted to the pain, but you're also blinded to it. These will be the things that you have to watch out for. Basically, the remedy to all of this is you have to be honest with your feelings and honest with yourself. Like, for an example, oh, I want to go to a gym, but you don't go to the gym, or because you'll come up with 1,000 reasons not to. And if you had the gym equipment at home, you would come up with 1,000 reasons not to. So the truth of the matter would be is you don't really want to go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? Like that is a scenario, right? Or an example is you just have to be honest with yourself 100%, because until you're true to your until you're honest with yourself, 100% honest with you, you can't be honest with no one else. You can't be honest with anything because you're not being honest and true to yourself, right? And then if you're not true to yourself, then you can't heal yourself properly. You got to be honest with yourself. Be real with, are you really going to put in the work, or are you not going to put in the work? Are you tired of dealing with it, or do you like the attention that dealing with something gives you? Like you just have to be 100% honest with yourself. So I'm going to do a final pull from the Oracle of Souls. Once again, another black and gray kind of deck, unintentional. Cards are super slippery, so Interesting. All right. So we have the Morgan. Antipathy. Or antipathy. I don't know. I can't talk. I'm like half asleep. Introspection, opposition. The exile, forsaken soul for strategy, failure, and trauma. Morgan Le Fay. Atonement, growth, and deceit. So this is really interesting here because this kind of sums up all the readings, right? You're going to have to be into a level of introspection within yourself. Go deep within yourself and confront some of the trauma you're dealing with, but you're going to have to do it strategically, right? And then atonement, growth, and deceit. Like, you got to stop lying to yourself and you got to allow yourself time to grow, right? Because you have to be patient too and understand that you're human, right? You're dealing with all these things and you can only go at the pace that you need to, but at the same time, you can't allow that to be an excuse for you to not put in the work. You have El Shaddai. If you know anything about Judaism, that's God. Wisdom, paternalism, and kindness. So it's going to make you wiser, right? It's going to make you approach things going forward with a level of kindness and insight. You have the martyr, honesty, shame, and restitution. So you need to just learn how to start being honest with yourself and being honest with others, right? Arthur, companionship, nobility, and self-realization. So this card speaks heavily of self-realization. Maybe you need to realize some things about yourself. And then we have Hades, equanimity, wisdom, and inevitability. We have the Keeper of Whispers, curiosity, madness, forbidden knowledge. I feel like this is going to tell you that you need to not dive too heavily into one aspect of this. You know, don't try to. So this is the thing, and this is what I'm getting, because I try to approach this from being like an intuitive reader, right? This card is telling the Keeper of Whispers. What do we relate? What's the terms that we relate whisperings to? Rumors, right? Like the rumors about ourselves. That's the curiosity and that madness and that forbidden knowledge. Don't focus on whispered rumors about you. Don't focus on how you look in the eyes of someone else. Just focus on you right now. Focus on healing yourself. Because if you start focusing on what everybody thinks, oh, you know, they don't like me, then you start stepping into this state of people pleasing, right? All these other different things. And then you start to begin to take off your bandages from your own healing, and you start replacing those bandages with a ton of masks. And then you don't realize that beneath all those masks, all those wounds that you were bandaging starts to become infected once again, and maybe gets worse over time. So it's just important for you. Don't get sucked back into the people pleasing once you start doing that. You know, allow your don't get sucked into the rumors if there is any about you. Like, oh, you know, did John Doe do this? Oh, did you hear what happened to John Doe's life? Oh, did you know that he was emotionally or she was emotionally unstable? You know, don't worry about what people think, you know? I know it's hard sometimes because the world tries to tell you that you need to care what people think, and truthfully, you really don't. So So I'm gonna wrap up the readings for the night. I appreciate all of you who hung out and everything. Hopefully, the readings resonated and hopefully, you know, gave you the right guidance you needed, right? I hope that you all have a great weekend, great rest of your weekend. Um, Keep an eye out. I will be posting the new music tomorrow. It will be on both YouTube and Spotify, right? So, thank you all for hanging out. And yeah, listen to me do a broad reading. Hope you all have a good night. And see you later.